Hi everybody, Desert Guardian here. Today I have the CZ P10-C to go over with you. Now, some of you may know that I was kind of a little bit of a naysayer of the CZ P10-C, but I gotta tell you, after holding it in my hands, I'm doing the usual things where I'm falling in love with it. So, hey, without further ado, let's take a look. So the case is interesting. It's got a double latch on it, but it's also got this push button here. It's like an additional little safety just to keep prying hands out of it. So here we have it. So we've got the pistol, the interchangeable back straps. So it looks like this one is a, well, we'll just set them next to each other and see what the size difference is. Well, that one's a little bigger than that one. Comes with 2 mags, 15 round mags. You notice they have the bright follower in it. That's something that Glock decided to do with their Gen 5. And of course the pistol. So we'll take it out, and we get the books, lock, little cleaning kit in there. So we'll go ahead and set the box aside and take a look. So here she is, the CZ P10-C. The C, of course, is compact. They want to say it's the compact barrel length, the compact grip size. So it runs a 15 round mag like any standard compact would, if you're considering that the Glock 19 is sort of the standard for compact carry pistols. 4-inch barrel on it, and you can get an extended mag base to run 17 rounds if you choose to do so. So let's just take a look at it. So it has front and rear cocking serrations, which are nice. Good positive grip on the front. It does have this really nice kind of a pyramid bezel to it. CZ does that on a lot of their pistols, and I actually kind of like the style of it. You know, it seems like a lot of pistols that come out are very square. Let's take, for example, the Glock. Not much style to it until you start changing parts and churching it up and making it look something like this. But right from the box, the P10-C does have a bit of style. You know, front and rear serrations on it, the nice shape to the slide. It does have a little bit of a bevel to the nose, you know, for easy insertion for a holster. Stippling on it is fairly aggressive. It's not as much as the 509, but on the sides, it's not as aggressive, but the front and rear back strap really grip you, really get you into the palm and your fingers. So I like that a lot. That's gonna feel good if I ever get a chance to shoot it. One other little bit, they put a little bit of stippling here on your finger rest. It's kind of nice. You know, most people don't do that. They rely on the aftermarket for that. So CZ sort of nailed it on that one. It does have ambidextrous slide release and ambidextrous mag release, which is nice. So if you can see here, it's a push-pull mag release on it. Go ahead and try that out. It actually feels really good from both sides. I'm not a lefty, so this thumb isn't as strong. There is a little bit of a bevel in the mag well area. Not a ton, but not a ton is needed. So this actually feels a bit better than the FN 509. The 509 takes a little bit of work to figure out, but this one feels real nice and comfortable. You can even get it with your index finger if you choose to. Like I said, it's also got the ambidextrous slide release on it, so you can do that from either side. Now, one neat thing about this that a lot of people are talking about is the trigger. There are a bunch of companies out there right now making an aftermarket trigger for it, and I've seen them online. You know, people are talking about it, but right from the get-go, let's see if we can take a closer look at this. So it has the scissor-style safety, a bit of take-up, but a really crisp break. Check the reset on it. Very audible and tactile and crisp break. So that actually feels really nice. So let's take that, and I'm going to compare it to my Hive that, you know, has obviously a lot more to it. So it feels pretty similar to it. And just for giggles, this is an Overwatch Precision in my Glock 17. That one actually feels really nice. But for a factory trigger, boy, that is actually really impressive. Feels good in your finger. I'm going to be really curious to see what that feels like with an aftermarket trigger in it. It doesn't seem like there could be too terribly much improvement on this from factory, other than maybe getting rid of some of this take-up. You know, if it started about here, that's about where I'd want it. But getting rid of a little bit of the take-up, it's not a super mushy trigger. Feels really good. So let's take it apart. So as you can see, when I picked it up, I did the Glock grab on it. This breaks down very similar to a Glock pistol. Give it a squeeze, push this down, slide it off. And inside, we have something that kind of resembles a Glock style recoil spring here. Then we've got the barrel. So all of CZ's barrels are like beyond military spec, cold hammer forged barrels, coated in a black nitride finish. So they really overbuild their barrels for lots of use. And this particular CZ P10-C is on loan to me from the gentleman, good friend of mine, that runs the Sheepdog Defense Project. So as you can see, I might have to clean it for him. He's only got 50 or 100 rounds through it, so it's practically brand new. And he was so kind to let me show it to everybody. So here's the slide. So the slide, one thing I noticed about it is it's very, everything on it is pretty thick. It's very overbuilt, just like the barrel is, which is nice. You know, you can see here, the only real thin part of the slide here is where the angle comes in, but it's a nice built steel slide. Your typical striker fire, you know, your little back plate. Now the one thing that we did find interesting about this is the way the sights are. So this one slides in and has a set screw, but this one has a set screw right on top. So you don't access it from inside. It's put right on top. So the gentleman who owns this really wanted to do like a tritium fiber optic on it, which is going to have a tritium tube on it, but that would require putting the sight in, then securing it with the set screw, and then putting a tritium tube in that kind of order. So I'm not sure how that would work. The other thing that I'm noticing about this slide is you've got a little pinhole right here, very similar to the Smith & Wesson M&P series. That might pose a problem for an RMR. You do have a lot of room on the CZ P10-C slide, you know, from here to here. So if you did need to put a custom cut in and wanted to run a red dot sight on it, I'm sure it looks like you'd probably have to make some sort of consideration for a different style rear sight on it. So, but hey, the options are endless. The possibilities are endless. So many people are doing so many things with it. As you can see, it runs a standard 3-dot sight, easy to pick up. And let's see. Oh, it's too bright in here. I can't tell if it's a factory night sight or not. I guess I could probably look on the box. So let's throw it back together here. Goes together as easy as it comes apart. Oh, I did not put the recoil spring. I looked at it, but felt like I missed it by a little bit. There we go. All right. And we're back together. Well, I do like that trigger. So it does have interchangeable back straps. Now that was one thing that I had spoken with the owner about one thing that I didn't like the first time I saw it was the way it fit my hand. And I'm almost wondering if it might have had the smallest back strap on it. Because with the Glock, the way the Glock is shaped, because it's more square this way, it fits my hand with the Gen 4 without any of the, clear it here. Here's my Gen 4. So I don't have any of the back straps on. So this is the smallest that it's set up. And it fits my hand better this way than it does with any of the back straps on it. But this one just has a different feel to it. They wanted to do something that brought up, you know, instant sight picture and felt good in everybody's hands. So they came up with a different angle, a different shape to it. It is a little rounder on the sides, but with these interchangeable back straps, I feel like it can really be more comfortable for a lot of different people. So like I said, I'm really looking forward to getting out and shooting this to see how it feels. One thing that you do notice too is how far everything is set back on this compared to, say, the Glock. If you line up the grips, you can see this one kind of sticks out the back a little bit, and the Glock, well, almost sticks out the front a little bit. So it is set back a little bit. It's a little bit of a different look. That's sure going to prevent any slide bite from people with really big hands, you know, that's for sure. So that's a interesting design characteristic there. Another thing I did notice that compares with Glock is they run a standard, like, Glock style accessory spot. So this is the Inforce APL that's the Glock version of it. So it's not the multiple applications one. It just has the one stationary spot for Glock. So let's throw that on there and see what that fits like. Well, I feel like this rail is a bit thicker than the Glock's. So we'll just unscrew that a tiny bit more and drop it right into its spot. Always good to have a dime lying around if you have an Inforce APL. And there we go. You can see it fits up pretty snug, pretty nice, right about where it should be with the single position accessory rail. So that's another similarity that it has with Glock. And you know, I really like how you have multiple options with the Picatinny rail style, like the Polymer 80 does. But if you're going to have one slot, you might as well have it be where the Glock one is, because that seems to be an industry standard for accessories. So yeah, there she is. That is the CZ P10-C. Not too shabby. I'm looking forward to getting out and shooting it. My buddy who loaned this to me from the Sheepdog Defense Project said he took it out for the first time and he could not miss with it. So that's encouraging. I'm looking forward to shooting it. You know, I like the trigger, the style's growing on me, the front serrations, the grip on it actually feels real good with these aggressive front and rear back straps, and a motorcycle's going by, sorry about that. But yeah, looking forward to getting it out to the range, put some rounds in it, and give you a report afterwards. So there it is, the CZ P10-C. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to comment below. But get back to you as soon as humanly possible. That's it for now. Desert Guardian, out.